Oh, you thought I wasn't official?
No, I knew you was gonna be official. I just need to get my life together. I need to get more official.
Listen,
I've been in so many official settings. How long I've been here? What's today?
It's Wednesday.
Oh, I only been here one day. Yeah, but no, seriously, I've been like a lot of cause I reached out to people who like were doing their own thing, and everybody that like I've done stuff with, their setup was so official. I'm just like, it's so dope. Like people are really doing like epic stuff. Like ain't nobody playing no more.
Listen, nowadays
when I left here, some people was playing.
Some was playing.
I'm back and now they not.
Listen, first of all, welcome to the Take It Over the World podcast. I'm here with. Listen, y'all might have seen her on TMZ. You might have been following her on Instagram. You might have even seen her yesterday on QDZ's Fox 20, the QDZ show.
Yeah,
am I right?
The Q on Fox.
Tell the people who you are.
So I'm Loren Lorosa, guys. Hi, how are you? I'm a television host, vlogger, and I'm going to start acting too. So soon to be actress. I live in LA, but I'm from Delaware, so I'm here in Wilmington right now on this podcast. Thanks for having me.
Listen, I appreciate you coming through. And for the people who don't know, today is your what?
My birthday. I turned 26 today.
26. I tell people, we was just having this conversation before we started the podcast about people, about what's old.
Yeah.
And trust me, 26 is still very young.
I didn't feel like it was old, like at all. Like when people were asking me, like, how do you feel? I'm like, I feel the same. Like I feel like I felt yesterday. But then when I just said it out loud, like I'm 26, I was like, wow, like 26. Listen. And this is like, I mean, okay, so today is my birthday. I'm 26. But like this is kind of like a full circle moment for me because when I first went to college, you were one of the people that was like, I didn't even know what it was to be like a host at a college. And I really didn't know too much about HBCU. I just ended up there because I had a mentor. And then when I saw you and a bunch of other people doing stuff, I was like, I want to do that. So this is kind of like a dope moment for me because I always was like, yo, Blake is so dope. Like he does everything. He hosts everything. Like everybody knows him. So I'm excited.
Listen,
like this is a good day.
Thank you for that plug. How much? I got $3 for the plug. $3.
Oh my God.
Nah.
Brooke,
I'm
come
kidding.
Get your money.
Brooke, listen. She's saying Brooke is her niece. Yeah. Her niece is right here in the home apartment / studio.
This is Brooke's first interview.
Brooke, you want to come over?
You want to come over? No, Brooke she's not with it.
She's not having it.
No.
Now you're back. That's your niece. You're back from LA.
Yes.
All right, you're out there. You're doing your thing. You're on TMZ. First of all, shout out for you for first and foremost rocking the Delaware State University shirt. HBCU love on TMZ.
A lot of people didn't get it. Like people, well, I think probably like the two black people in the room was like, oh, okay, dope. But a lot of people didn't understand. I'm like, this is kind of a dope moment right here. Like, because there's hardly, you don't see a lot of African American people in mainstream entertainment. Absolutely. And then I'm here and I'm repping my HBCU. Like, this is dope. A lot of people from HBCUs, like, they're not in these rooms all the time. And if they are, it's like maybe two of us. So I was like, I got to do this right here.
Did you feel like the token black girl?
I love being a token black girl. Token me all. Do it. Because if you don't understand me, where I come from, my perspective, I can very professionally sit you down and explain it to you. And that's always been like my mission. Like whenever I did internships or whatever, I always was like, I want to go in rooms where I'm the only one. I want to be that voice. Like, let me do that. It's kind of tough sometimes, like finding the balance between like being professional and still keeping your job, but also not losing yourself and making people understand what is like correct and culturally correct or whatever. But I don't know. It's cool. And I mean, you got a lot of help nowadays because people everywhere care about African-American people and our culture and stuff like that. Ever since Empire, we've been lit. So
Empire set it off?
Oh, Empire made people rethink all of this.
Everything. That's why Issa Rae, she just got a new show.
Yes.
Production.
Oh, yeah. In that show as well.
Oh, Insecure.
Yeah. Insecure and Empire. Like, those shows are like, yeah, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, doing it big. Now, first of all, appreciate the love. Now, I got to show the love right back. I watched you from when you first came in and Dell State as a freshman. And certain people, when they come through, when I'm looking at these the younger students, when they first come in as a freshman and I watch them matriculate, and certain people, I'll be like, yo, they're going to make it. And I think you came through, I'm trying to think of my guy's name. I forget the one guy's name. It was Jamila Mustafa, who actually came through on the show.
Jamila, you talking about, is he from New York, the guy?
Yeah.
Shannon?
Yeah. Shannon. And I was like, these people have the energy.
It's crazy because everywhere I go, people always, like, when they talk about us, it's always me, Jamila, and Shannon. Like, in that realm of, like, people that were, like hosting stuff. A lot of people did stuff, but as far as like hosting stuff and stuff like that, they're like, oh my God, you, Jamila, Shannon, y'all doing so well, like blah blah blah. And I'm like, yo, it's so lit because all of us always get mentioned together.
Hold on, throw my lady in there. God darn it, what is my lady's name?
Allie.
She's gonna kill me. I call her. She's a chocolate goddess.
India Sage, I love her.
India,
I
that's
love
my
her.
girl.
Yeah.
She listen,
I
man.
love her.
You guys have been putting in work for a long time, right? And you're right here from Delaware.
Yes.
Wilmington, Delaware.
Yep.
Born and raised.
Yes.
In the hood.
And I'm from the
town?
real Wilmington. Like, people really think like I'm from like, I mean, not to say that this is not real Delaware, but like Middletown. Like, it's like, no, I grew up on 5th and Washington, so I really know what happens in Wilmington, like how it is growing up here. Like, I understand a lot of stuff, and I think it's helped me be able to like push me further, but just be able to understand all different types of people, because the people I grew up with are completely different than a lot of the circles that like I'm having to like get used to and stuff like that. But it's made me such a well-rounded person, and I think it keeps you down to earth too, because like you really know what's up. You've really seen struggle and like, you know, all that other stuff. So
nah, if people don't know, man, 5th and Washington is the hood.
Yeah,
listen, I grew up on Pine Street. You grew up on 5th and Washington.
Oh, you grew up on Pine Street? Yes, it's as rough as it gets.
5th and Washington is right around the corner from West Center City. It's right over there, right off of 4th Street.
Yes.
I mean, you right there. I mean, I ain't gonna front. When I go down Washington Street, me and my brother always crack a joke. When we go down Washington Street, we literally do not stop at the stop sign. Like, we're like...
Especially now, it's one part you stop at that light, you'd be like, what is happening in our world today? What is going on, God?
Listen,
bless these people. But no, I mean, I think it's stuff like that, and you joke about it or whatever, but it's crazy when you go other places. Even right here in Wilmington, I was working with Barclays for a while, doing some community stuff with them for like a year when I graduated, and you have a lot of these people who are like corporate bankers. They have a lot of money. They, didn't grow up in these situations that a lot of people that we grew up in, or people we know. Even sitting right there on the riverfront here in Wilmington is such a disconnect. So it's like back again to being that voice. Like, my job there was, these people are not going to be receptive to this community outreach because you don't understand them. So like, I think in like, probably like maybe 5 to 10 years, we'll have more people that are those voices, and the world will hopefully start to change, because that's what it's going to take. Because it's not even a thing of like, I mean, racism is real, but it's more of a disconnect. Like, there's such a gap and nobody understands it. So people like me and you and like the Jamilas, India, like Shannon, we need more people like that in these rooms, like, because it changes things. It really does. Absolutely.
Now, and I'm gonna just go off a little bit off topic a little bit. And we're talking about like changing the world and changing all this stuff. Now, over at TMZ, I think it's about 3 black people there too.
No, there's more black people.
Listen,
there.
It's you. No. Now, I'll be honest. Like, TMZ, I catch it if it's like a big story, because I ain't gonna front. I don't have no cable.
But I mean, come on, we're online. Yeah, it's online. But you only see like the show, which is only 2 hours of like an 8 to 12 hour day, and you only see maybe 10 people out of like a huge staff. There are a lot. People ask me that too, and people make jokes, because sometimes we line up in like one part of the room and they be like, oh, the chocolate wall. We have our joke as well, but there are a lot more black people. Like, one thing I can say about Harvey, despite what anybody else will say about him, like, Harvey is he's open to learning and wanting to know new stuff. And I think that's why the show works, because when he's asking questions and he's like, I want to know, he really honestly wants to know. He's interested. He's said it before on the show. Like, he's really intrigued with the black culture and stuff like that. But you only see but so many people. There's more of them in there. There's more black people in there.
I know. I was just messing. But coming from Wilmington, Delaware, and I've been following you for a long time, and I know you were doing modeling. You were doing a lot. And I actually think you even got behind the camera. Times you got your vlog going. How did you go from Wilmington, Delaware to LA? First of all, what made you want to move out to LA? Is it becoming what made you want to do it?
Well, my life goal is to surpass Terrence J. Like, that he is who I model my career after. So like, that was my first thing. But so I was doing a lot in New York. Even when I was at Del State, I was doing a whole lot, interning, whatever. So I had a lot of connections there, and I really felt like, I can go to New York and I can do it here. But I wanted to challenge myself, and I was in New York, where I'm really into fashion as well. I felt like everything I was doing, because I look a certain way and like I'm into fashion, was fashion-based stuff. But I was like, I want to get more into TV stuff. So I was like, if I move to LA, there, all it is television there. Like, and I knew I wanted to be an actress and stuff like that. And I was just like, I just got to get there. I got to meet these directors, these casting directors, these producers. Terrence J did an interview, and I read it, and he was saying how he lived in New York when he was first like trying to get on. He did BET 106 in Park. But what he loved about LA was you could walk into a room and sit down with some of the biggest directors, producers, and casting directors in the world, people who change people's lives. And it's different submitting a tape or doing a FaceTime call or whatever. So I just wanted to challenge myself, and I understood the benefit of me being able to walk into a room and talk to somebody versus them seeing me on camera or reading a resume or whatever. So I was like, I'm doing it. Like, I'm leaving. And I didn't have a job after college either. Like, it was crazy.
You was hustling. I seen you.
I was a marketing major, and all of my friends, and I was really, like, in my major, you know how you have those people in your department that you're like, oh, they're going to graduate with a job. I was, like, one of the people that people were very surprised. Like, wait, you don't have an offer? Like, you're not going to Barclays? You're not going. Everybody was going to Barclays, JP Morgan, Chase, stuff like that. And I wouldn't have mind getting a role like that, but I really didn't want.
Hold on. What was your major in college?
Marketing.
It was marketing? I thought it was mass comm.
But that's how I was moving. Everybody thought I was mass comm. But this is what happened.
It was in your heart.
I did mass comm for half of a semester. I felt like in that semester, the classes were not going to get me ready for what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be like e-news, like very mainstream. And at the time, no shade to Del State because they really like have bumped up their mass comm program. But at the time when I was taking it, I just felt like if I stay here in this program for 4 years, I'm going to graduate and people are not going to take me serious because it's not connecting me the way I need to. It's not prepping me and stuff the way I needed to. So I was like, what is a really good department here? So I Googled best departments at Delaware State. And I'm already a student. I didn't do this before I was a student because I didn't really want to go to college. So the marketing program was listed very high, the business department. So I'm like, I Googled, can you work in entertainment with a marketing degree? And it was like, yes. And then it gave you a list of jobs. So I was like, cool, that's all I need. I'm going to go get the marketing degree, have the business background, because I eventually want to run my own business in entertainment. I just don't know what it is. And then I'll connect with the really big companies like the Live Nations, the Radio Ones, through the business department, and then I'll work my way into talent. That's how I thought it was going to go.
How did it really go?
I mean, it kind of did. Like, I did some of the stuff like that, but I started noticing that when you come in as behind the scenes, you come in as behind the scenes. Like, it's a whole different ball game. It's really hard to cross over sometimes because when they hire you, they're looking for you to do that job. Like, you don't even have time sometimes to veer away from that. So I was like, when I moved to LA, I told myself, like, I need to stop being behind the scenes and really just focus on me being talented, because if not, I'm going to get stuck behind the scenes or whatever. But yeah, I was marketing because also too, mass comm majors, I Googled how much you make when you graduate. Then I Googled how much a marketing major made. And I was like, I'm tired of being broke. I need money. So I'm going to go with marketing. It was higher. Like the pay.
So you getting that bag out there in LA?
Nope, not yet.
You get that
so
bag?
I ended up right back where I Googled for the mass comm. But I did get to experience working corporate though, and it was pretty cool. And yeah, the money was really good. But I don't know. I ended up back where I was trying to not avoid, but I was trying to like cut corners. Like I thought I could like hustle it and not have to go through certain stuff. But you got to go through certain stuff when you're like chasing a dream. You got to go through being broke, the working jobs you hate, working side jobs just to keep the job you hate afloat, like paying your dues type of thing.
Absolutely. I'm gonna tell you just from I would just say from my personal experience, and this is just what I think, believe to be true. Like you said, you just turned 26, and I believe your career is just getting started. Like, I mean, just getting started. I know you were putting in. It's like when when you go to the gym, you can't just go in and go hard. Some people can, but then you're gonna be a little bit sore. So I think it's just a lot of the prerequisites. Like you did a lot of work beforehand. I think right now is the kick, and I promise you, in 4 years from now, you'll look back and like, yo, that was just the beginning.
Yeah.
And I know you have the mentality and the ambition to just keep on pushing and keep on growing. I know you're gonna get great, gonna blow up. You're gonna do big things. You're gonna look back at this interview and say, yo, I need you to come back for another interview, and we'll get it going. But getting out there, TMZ, you moved to LA.
Yeah.
Tell me about some of the struggles.
Oh, wow. Money.
The real struggles. We diving in. I'm taking over World Podcast. We dive into the real thing.
So I do this on my YouTube channel. That's what started my YouTube channel, because one of my major... Can you press that button on the phone? Thank you.
Sir, she's going live. Shout out to all her live viewers right there.
Hey, y'all. I don't know how many people up there.
I don't know. But, are you monitoring the live?
I was trying to do.
Look, she got... listen.
Fold, clip.
The boyfriend is interested. Hold on, was you supposed to say that?
No, go ahead.
Okay, look, I don't know, because some people, they be like, no, tell Hollywood I got a boyfriend.
Whatever.
Not because no shade on you, but it's some certain jobs.
Yeah.
But boyfriend is in the building. You got a cameraman, everything.
Helping me with Brooke.
Nah.
But
go ahead.
No, what you was about to say?
No, go ahead. We'll get back to that.
Okay. My first struggle when I got there was I was the new kid on the block. And LA is not like New York. Like in New York, if you're the new kid on the block but you hustling, somebody gonna feel it and they gonna help you. LA, It's honestly, I really feel like from living there 2 years, LA is not built for people to come up and win. It's built for people who already are winning to win more. There's a big gap between like the rich and the poor there. Like just everything is very evident. So if you make it in Hollywood, it's a huge success story because to me, it's not really built for people to come from nothing and get everything. So my hardest thing was being the new kid on the block, coming there with, just the reel that I had built. I was doing on camera stuff for Angela Simmons on the side when I was working for Barclays just to build a reel. And I had that reel. So I was like, now what? Like, I'm here. The red carpets are way more serious. The celebrities are way bigger. People only want to sit down and interview with A-list platforms, so I can't interview nobody on my YouTube channel. Like, what am I going to do? So I started telling my story about what I was going through. Like, and that's on my YouTube channel. And my YouTube is Loren Lorosa TV. And I do that to this day. It's called Live in Los Angeles. And it's basically just about, like, what's really good, like, what's really going on. Like, I remember at one point, I moved to LA for a job. I was working in entertainment and fashion PR. I hated that job so much. I didn't hate the job, but where I was working at was really, really tough. Like, it was like the devil wears Prada times like 3. And I remember the day that I quit, I just like walked out, and I was so happy to walk out, even though like I was crying, I was upset. But then reality kicked in, and it's like, I got to still help my friend with her rent, the girl I was living with. Like, I have a car, brand new car now. Like, what am I going to do?
Car note?
Yeah, I had that was my very first time having a car note, because when I was here, I had the car that I had a fashion show. I made the money from the show and I bought it off of my aunt. So I just bought it. Paid cash for it. When I moved to LA, because I had went there with a Barclays job. At first I was in Vegas, and then from there I went to LA. And then I transferred over into a different job. I had a little bit more money saved. I think I had like $4,000, and they let me put $500 down on the car.
What kind of car was it?
A Toyota Camry 2000. What year was that? 2014, 15.
So fresh, brand new.
No, not 14. Yeah, whatever year it was brand new. They let me. My credit was really good because I was here for a year working with Barclays, paying off my student loans, building my credit, blah, blah, blah. Like, I just went back on like a whole new level. Like, ready. Everything was good. Had money. So I have this car note now. I have car insurance. I have, the money that I'm throwing my friend to let me stay with her. And all of that just hit me all at once. And my mom and my grandma, for a long time, they didn't understand. Like, why are you working for free? Why do you keep going to New York and you're not making any money? But when I moved here, I think they got it. Moved to LA. I think they kind of got it. But even then, it still was like, why'd you quit that job? Like, but they helped out. So my grandma was helping me a lot. My mom was helping me out a lot too. But it was still like, I was stressed because I'm used to working, having money, living a certain type of way and stuff like that. So it was to the point where like I wouldn't even sleep sometimes. Like, I would just be up all night applying for jobs and like just really trying to do anything. And then I just told myself, like, this was probably like the 3rd week into that 4 months that I didn't have a job. I was just like, you don't have a job right now. You're pushing. I was interviewing so much. My friends used to be like, yo, you interview more than we go on dates. Like, for job, I was seriously 4 to 5 interviews a day, every single day of the week, like just trying to get a job. I met so many people just from interviewing for jobs that now, like, I have a network just because of the people that I've interviewed with at different companies or whatever. And I was just like, yo, you're doing all this and it's not really working out. My friend that I was living with, to this day, it's like, I don't know if I could have made it through that time if I wasn't living with her. She's a very like independent thinker. Like, she just opened up her own store. She quit her job. She works for herself. She's in school or whatever.
How'd you meet her?
I had a huge fashion show here in Delaware my junior year of college. Junior year of college. She lives in Jersey. She had heard about the show and came. She brought a ticket in advance, and she came and brought the ticket from me and my friend Javon. So we met her then and just stayed in contact because she was like, oh, I work in fashion. I'm moving to LA to go to FITM. Stayed in contact with her. So me and her had gotten really close because we were just always hitting each other up about like just work stuff and fashion or whatever. So when I moved there, she was like, when I moved back, she was like, well, I got an open room, because I was actually going to move into an apartment because I'm like, I got the money this time. I can move into my own space. And she was like, well, I have an open room. Why don't you just move in with me and then like, fill it out. And then, so I ended up staying with her for like a year. But she sat me down and was just like, I really think that you're selling yourself short. Like, you need to just focus on your brand. Like, you are a brand. Focus on that and do whatever you can around that to make money. Like, so I made a list of everything that I was really good at. And at the number one of that list was social media. So I was like, why don't I just start managing people's social media, at least enough to pay her and pay my car payment. So I was charging brands like $500 to $700 a month to manage all their social media. I built like EPKs for them, their website, just anything. I was even coming up with ideas for like photo shoots for certain brands and stuff like that, and they would pay me for it, going on set with them. And I made enough money. I was then making enough money to be able to pay her and pay my car payment. I really didn't have much in between though, like the spending and going out and all that stuff. So it was still very stressful, but it got me through. Yeah. And in that time, I did stuff that I had never dreamed. I thought it was going to at least take me like 2 years to like break any ground in LA. But in that time, I shot my first commercial for Hyundai. I met an agent, so we ended up not signing any contracts, but he was willing to like field me. So I went on a few auditions. I got to see how like working with an agent worked. My YouTube channel, I got more consistent with that. I just really did a lot. Like I worked with All Deaf Digital. That was my first time working for a major online platform, and they actually paid me. Like before that, I had done everything for free. So I worked with them a few times as like a guest host. They paid me. I was hosting red carpets. I met this girl who introduced me to a website who, although it didn't pay me, it put me on major carpets like Soul Train Awards, all that type of stuff. All of this within 4 months. And I had been there for so long and was trying. But I think my focus was everywhere. And when I lost my job, I really had to like gain a real good focus. And then all that came out of it. But it was just so hard because I didn't have anything. Like it was certain times where I would have to call home to like my boyfriend or to like my mom or my grandma and just be like, can you just send me money to grab some groceries? Because at this point, like I don't even know how I'm about to eat. Like, and then like the girl I was living with, she knew what I was going through. So she would like, because she knows I'm not the type of person to really ask for much. If I don't have it, I'm just going to figure it out. Or you got to be really close to me for you to know that I don't have it. So like when I would be going through stuff, like she would know and she'd be like, oh, I got us groceries. Like I'm making dinner and you can't refuse. I'm making us dinner. And I'd be like, okay, cool. And then she'd be like, oh, well, one of my friends needs to go across town. If you ride with me, like I won't even take the gas money. I'll give it to you for gas so you can go out and do your stuff for the week. She really like helped me a lot. Yeah. So that was like probably like the hardest thing I went through was like not having money, not like it was just crazy. And being all the way from home, like if I was in New York and I didn't have money, I wouldn't stress because I can get on the bus, come back here, have a party, do something, make some money. Being all the way over there,
you ain't got money for a flight.
I don't even have money for a flight. Like
money to eat.
Yes, so it was just like crazy. Like what in the world is going on right now? Like I didn't know what was happening, but that was probably like the lowest point of all of my 2 years there. Like those couple months. I was like, I am never going to go through this again. Like, this feeling right here, I don't ever want to go through this. Like, I'm going to do whatever it takes because this is real. Like, I don't know how people live like that. Like, I was stressed.
Listen, I know we talking. This is really good, and I can tell you're getting very emotional. I can see the tears.
Yeah, because y'all don't understand.
Listen, I know we're gonna come back to that. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. Go ahead, Nita. You okay? Now I might keep going. I love this. You know why? Because that's what taking over the world is. I tell people all the time.
But this is not. It's not sad tears either. It's like
no, it's emotional tears. Like when you're going.
I was
through
crying yesterday for no reason. I don't know why. I don't know, but it's just like I'm in a good place right now. Like.
It's tears of joy.
Yeah.
You know, I tell listen.
I'm messing up my makeup.
It's all good.
You got me crying in here, Blake. See,
no,
this why I should have been another hour late because you got me here crying.
Listen.
Can I get a napkin?
We got a napkin over there. Probably 95% of the people are going through something right now.
Yeah.
No matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people go through their struggles. And that's why I really wanted to ask about your struggles because people just see, the glitz and glam on our social media. They don't know how tough it is and how I'm dead serious. I remember one time I had to I didn't have no money. And I'm the type of person just like you. I don't want to ask anybody for anything.
Yeah.
I want to fend for myself. It gets to the point where I got to ask, okay, cool. Like, I mean, it takes a lot for me to ask anybody for anything. And I had like some points on my card at like Delaware Park, and that was how I was eating.
Yeah. I
ain't had no money to get no food. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I'm going there like, hey, what's up? Like, what you want? Just say panini. Yeah, give me that panini. You know what I mean? Slide my card. You know what I mean? Whatever. Or, you know what I mean? It's been plenty of times. Come on. We talk about oodles and noodles. We talk about the struggle,
it's definitely like, it's real. Like, it's very real. But I also think, too, like, growing up the way I grew up and, like, you know, just being exposed to, like, what struggle is, like, because it was all around me. Like, I never felt, my mom was a single parent, like, and she did a lot. I never felt struggle or not having or anything, like, but I have, you know, I've just seen a lot of stuff. And then as I got older, I started to realize, like, my mom is a single parent. Like, it's hard for her. So and I've always had to be the person that has helped her. So a lot of times when I go through stuff, I think the emotion thing and not even trying to be emotional, just getting through it, has come from me having to just suck it up and just be like, all right, I got you, Mom. Like, I'm about to figure it out. Don't worry. Like, I've always had to be like that person. So I don't even like really, when something goes down, I try not to even like front, or because if I go into like emotion too much, I get really, really emotional. And I don't really have time for that. Like, I got to think my way through it. I got to hustle my way through it, because if I don't, I might have missed a moment. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I had broken down in that moment when I didn't have anything and was just like, because my mom and my grandma for a long time was just like, you can come home. You can come home. But then it got to the point where my grandma was like, no, you're not coming home. And my mom was like, I'll even ship your car out there. You can Uber, live in your car, whatever you got to do, but you're not coming home. So if I would have buckled in that moment, I wouldn't be where I am right now. You know what I'm saying? So I've just had to teach myself, like, it's hard, but it could be worse. Absolutely. And it's going to get better. And I still stress out today about everything, but it gets better.
And then before we went to break, I know we got a little emotional. I loved it. Trust me. I promise you, I loved it, because that's the real side. And that's one thing we want to do with this podcast. This is why it's called Taking on the World Podcast. It's real. No doubt. I want you to come on. I want you to tell people to struggle, because people struggle. Yeah. And you're helping people through the struggle. Yeah. All right. I know I got you for a limited time, because we got to get the grandma. Grandma don't play no games. Yeah. It's your birthday. Couple quick questions for you. All right. First of all, how did you land the TMZ job?
I just applied. They were looking for, I'm a tour guide and a host. So my main job is the tour guide stuff. So when people come into LA, whether it's like you yourself, by yourself, just want to book a ticket and hop on the tour bus, or if you're with like your company or your brand and you guys want like a personal tour hosted throughout the city, we get on the TMZ buses, we host you guys throughout the city, we run into celebs, interview them, whatever. And then the show kind of comes in extension to that. But they were looking for guides, and I sent in my reel, and I emailed them a couple times, and then they got back to me. And it was crazy, because the day that they got back to me, I was a flight attendant at the time. I was flying with Delta.
Hold on, you Jamaican? You
no.
got like 30 jobs.
No, I be trying to keep money in my pockets. I'm just a hustler. And it just, jobs, I don't know.
You ever seen that Living Color? I don't know if you remember that.
No, but too young for that. But my friend said that the other day. He said, you move more than anybody I know. You got more jobs than anybody I know. You sure you're not Jamaican? And I was like, no, I'm not. Yeah. But you got to check out the Living Color sketch. That's where they get it from. Like, they got 10 jobs. I was a mailman. I was a clerk. I was a TMZ host. Yeah. That's where it probably goes. I probably would have been a mailman if they would have gave me the job. But I took the job with Delta because I just was like, I didn't have any money, and I needed to get back and forth a lot more. Like, I felt like I needed to be everywhere. So my friend was like, apply, whatever. And Delta is really hard to get. It's like almost harder to get into Harvard than to get a job as a Delta flight attendant. And I got it on the first try. So I was like, if I go through this process and I get it, maybe it's meant for me to do this right now. So I did that for a while, but it had gotten to the point where I wasn't able to do much of anything, like, because it took over my life. The first couple of years are not as flexible as you would think. So I was moving to my base in Minneapolis. Like, I had tried commuting for a while, didn't work. Moving to base the same day, like literally, my landlord had just did the walkthrough to give me my deposit back, signed all the papers, called my Uber to take my bags to the airport. Waiting for the Uber, I got an email from TMZ, and they were like, hey, like, the real, could you hop on I think it was like Uber or FaceTime, one of those call things, in about an hour. So I was like, yes. So I canceled the Uber, and I was like, I asked him, I'm like, can I stay here for a little bit? Like, do y'all got people coming in or whatever? Because I'm about to do a job interview. He was like, nah, you're cool. So I sat there, I waited. We did the interview. And then after I did the interview, he was like, okay, he looked to hear from me. So then right after I did the interview, I got an email, and he was like, could you come in? And I was like, yeah, sure. When? So they were like, the next day. Mind you, I was supposed to be leaving out for a trip. It's really, really hard as a first-year flight attendant to get off of your trips, because you get the BS trips. Like, nobody wants to work them. So I said yes, but I knew I had to be at work, but I didn't know what I was going to do. So I put in for paid time off. You almost never get paid leave for a 3-day trip as a first-year flight attendant. And I got granted it. I don't know whose phone.
Now, don't worry. It's my computer.
Oh.
Back to people in the studio. We're here.
Yeah, everybody like, what is going on?
Nah, my phone's connected to my computer. Somebody was texting me.
But I got granted the days off for the weekend, and I still got to get paid for it. And that almost never happens. So then I was able to be there for I ended up doing one interview and then coming back and doing another one. And then they offered me the job, and I had to make a decision. So I tried to fly and do both at the same time, but it just did not work. Yeah. And I had gotten to the point where I was like, being a flight attendant is a really great job and great career for someone, but for me right now, it's just not for me. Like, this is for someone who really wants to do this because it does take over your life. It's like a whole nother world. And I was like, I really want to devote myself to television and just go full force and see where it like gets me. So I was like, I'm just going to devote myself fully to TMZ as a tour guide. And this was before I even knew I could be on the show. I was just willing to do anything because I'm like, TMZ is huge. If I get in and I do good, it could lead to things. So I resigned from being a flight attendant, did TMZ full force. Within the first month, I was having a conversation with someone. They were like, oh, we get to like go on the show. And I was like, wait, what?
Stop playing. What?
Like, no, like, what you, like, do I have to audition? Like, and she was like, no, because you're a tour guide, you get to, work with the show. If they like you or whatever, they'll keep you coming back in there. So we started that like my second month. And I started out with like 1, maybe 2 days a week. And now I'm doing like 4 to 5 days a week. Like for the last couple of weeks, it's been like 5 days consistent. And then I go and do the tours after that. So if you guys are in Hollywood, come take a tour with me. But yeah, it just.
Shameless plug.
Yeah. But no, seriously, I just really sent the email. And no, really come and take a tour. Like, it's lit. It's like a live show. Like, we host you for 2 hours throughout the city. We take you to all the places where like we broke big stories and stuff like that. It's just lit.
I got you. Now y'all breaking. You know what? We're gonna get up to TMZ because I only have you for a limited time, and I want to dive into, like I said, with the podcast. We talk about the real, and you're out there. You've been going through what you were going through. How much did doubt start to creep in?
I never had doubt. Like, the whole time, I knew. Like, I never said, well, maybe this isn't for me. It was more of, God, why am I going through this? And then for like once I thought, all right, maybe I moved to New York just for 6 months, do the same thing there and just hustle up some money and then come back. But it never was like, oh, now time for a lane change. Like, it was always, I swear, I never thought about that. I don't think ever in my life I've ever, seriously, I might have jokingly said, why didn't I just go be a banker or something like that or whatever. But I don't think I ever doubted it because I just know, like, I know where I'm supposed to end up.
Amen. I heard that. And you're out there in LA. Now, I got to ask this question because I see a lot of people go out there and a lot of people go places and they change.
Oh.
Right? Do you
think?
got
me nervous.
What's the question? No, it's okay. It's okay. You don't know Harvey Weinstein, do you? I'm just.
No, I don't know him.
Okay, make sure. No, you know Hollywood.
No,
you know,
I don't know him. My first like real.
Mess with you.
No. I mean, I've had like experiences of things that were just like I knew they weren't cool, and I got myself away from that before I had to go through anything. But I worked for Project Runway All Stars. That's a Harvey Weinstein. Like, it's under their company, and I had worked with people who had said different things, but I've never.
So you never encountered anything out there in LA? I don't know if you could say on the record or off the record.
No, whatever.
So nobody has never tried anything, right?
No, people try stuff all the time. I'm a female. I'm young. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So they try stuff all the time, but I'm not stupid. Like, that's another thing of like, I'm glad that I was raised how I was raised and I come from where I come from because I'm not dumb. You're not going to play me. You're not going to like, I'm not desperate enough for anything to let anybody do or say anything to me. And I know what I'm capable of and I know what I'm going to do. I've done a lot of stuff. Everything I've done has been because I've worked hard for it. I haven't had to sleep with anybody, let anybody disrespect me or anything like that. So I'm not about to start.
Amen. I know that's right. Plus you got a boyfriend who's from the hood and who I know.
Yeah.
All right. Nah, but the real question was, being out there in Hollywood, you come from Wilmington, Delaware. Do you think that you became a LA girl? You know what those LA girls are?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they walk a certain way, they dress a certain way. Like they have, from what I hear, I never been out there. They say the LA girls.
Never been to LA?
I never been to LA.
How have you never been to LA?
I gotta get out. My guy Corey Darlington's out there.
You gotta
come. He went to Del
to
State. I gotta introduce you to him.
Really?
Yeah, it's a couple from Del State out there.
I only know like maybe 4 people from Del State out there.
Yeah, no doubt. But go back to the question. Do you think you became a Hollywood girl?
No, I don't think that I've become a Hollywood girl. I do think though that I have changed, and I think that now I understand the importance of like personal branding, who I surround myself with, what opportunities I say yes and no to, and stuff like that. So I'm a lot more particular about what I will involve myself with or who I will lend my time to. But I haven't become like a bougie LA girl. Like, people come out there all the time that I may have not even really spoken to when I lived here in Delaware, but they're in town and they know I live there and they're like, hey, I'm here. Either let's link up or can you throw me stuff to do? Like, let me know what's going on. I'm willing to talk to anybody too. But I have definitely changed, and I had to change because when you're in LA, places like that, you're running with people who are they have a lot more behind them. They have agents, they have management, they have money behind them. They have, you know what I'm saying? Like, they grew up connected. So the perception is everything. You gotta brand yourself a certain type of way so that you can get yourself in these rooms. Now, you don't have to fully change yourself because there are morals and like just different things that I had from being here and being other places that I will never get rid of. Like, Absolutely. It's just me, and it makes me authentically me. But I have changed in some points, but I'm not like bougie. Like, I can't speak with you. I'll connect you with my people like that. I'm not like that.
Excuse me, sir. No, sorry, I can't speak with you.
Yeah.
I have to go to TMZ. I have to go interview. Nah. I mean, honestly, I think you should change. I think that most people, in my opinion, I think as long as you change for the better, because if you're staying the same, that means you're staying complacent or you're staying in the same place. I always say yes. I think one time I had put on Facebook, as a friend of mine, we was talking, and they said, yo, you changing? I said, yes, I'm changing. Thanks for reminding me that I'm not staying the same.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to change. You have to evolve. You know what I mean? All right. So, what you think's next for you?
I don't know, but I know what I want to happen next. I want to get in a network. So, like, TMZ is a show, and they shoot, and they're on Fox, but it's different if I was working for Fox. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
that's what you're saying.
I want to get into a network. My goal networks are VH1 and MTV right now, just because I feel like they fit me as a person. Like, I want something that's real, like, millennial, hip, but understands fashion, but understands pop culture and entertainment, but also gives me different opportunities. Like, in a network, you could be a host, and then you work with all the cast and directors. And if you express an interest for acting and they like you, you're now inside, so you know what's coming through the pipeline. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I kind of want to get in that space because I just feel like I can maneuver a lot more opportunities that are open. And I want to get with a show that, like, I can be full-time contracted on, that has me moving and going. Like, I like to be, like, on the go and doing different stuff. I want to be, like, at different concerts, hosting the concerts, or doing the red carpets for different award shows all throughout the nation. And, you know, like, a lot of networks, they do stuff like that because they sponsor a lot of the big events, a lot of the concerts and the award shows and stuff like that. So they make sure their hosts are there because now we don't got to pay talent. We already paying y'all. So I want to do that.
There we go. And look, she fell asleep. Look at her. She's knocked out. Now, you actually said you're home. I know you want to come on. I know we're going to do a plug. So what brings you home besides your birthday and your family? I heard you got something going on Black Friday.
Yes. So on this coming Friday, well, tonight for my birthday, we're my friend is doing a party at a lavish nightclub, and then I'm going to host it for him. So we're doing that. And then on Friday, it's like a pop-up shop that I'm having. A lot of people don't understand what pop-up shop is. It's basically like where a bunch of businesses come together and they literally just pop up and set up and sell. So I have like fashion brands, beauty brands, like girls who sell like lashes and different type of makeup products. I have an author coming out, a Black author coming out who writes books, and she's been like all over touring trying to get her books out there. We have some performances happening. There will be music. The place where we're having it is a Caribbean restaurant. It's Bull Bay Cuisine, 900 North Orange Street. So their food is amazing, their drinks. So they'll be selling all their stuff and doing their thing as well. But I'm basically just bringing together like our Black-owned businesses, our small businesses who people always say like you got to support the businesses, but let's be real. Like that support means you need to give them some money. Like you can't run a business without money. That's what they need. They need the money to keep going. So let's put our dollars like, back into our communities and like back into the people who really look like us. Because if these people get somewhere, like one of my friends, for instance, Milano, she's going to throw some hats in there for the grab bags that we're doing. And Milano had a sweatsuit because her brand is really booming right now. She had a sweatsuit that Meek mentioned in a song and priced it at $500. So she was like, let me see if this really works. Because people were coming in her store asking for it. Placed a sweatsuit at $500. It went viral that day. Like people were like, who does she think she is? Like everywhere. People from different states. I was getting, because people know we're friends, I was getting texts from people all over. Like, wow, it's really $500. Like, yo, this not Gucci. This not Louis. And I had to stop people and really, because
absolutely.
I think before I really understood business and trying to build yourself as a business, I probably would have thought the same way. But I see how hard she works, and I see the opportunities that are granted to her because of the audience and the support she has. If a Milano D. Rouge could get into like a Nordstrom or a Saks or something like that, you know how many other small Black, and really make money there, you know how many other small Black-owned fashion businesses or businesses, period, could have those opportunities? Like, it's like what Empire did. Like, Empire got on Fox, Black people, Black stories, made money, got ratings. Now what are they doing? They want the black directors. They want the black people in the room. They want the black talent because they see we make money. They see what we've already known. Like, we're great. We are culture shapers. So I want people to come out and support these businesses so we can help keep the culture pushing, like keep it going.
Absolutely. And even dive into on a more of a serious but not serious. It's like somebody said, is they're not Gucci. Who does she think she is? It's like, I always had a mindset, you'll go pay $5,000 for a brand who's somebody who doesn't care about you, who you don't know,
who doesn't understand
and
you,
doesn't support you,
and is not going to do
culture.
anything for your community. And if they do, they're writing a check and they're wishing you well.
That's
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's different when you got somebody who really, like, she's come up through a lot of stuff you guys have come up through. So when she gets to the point where she can fix that because of your support, she's going to be able to do that. But you got to support her first. Like, you got to understand that if she placed it at $500, that's what she values her brand at. And she still got the cheaper tees that you can go and buy as well. But if you have $500 to spend on anything, it should be with somebody who looks like you and who understands you.
At least.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me to not want to do it. And her brand is booming. All the big celebrities are wearing it. So why not?
Why not, man? Good gosh. Support the black business. Matter of fact, I tell people all the time, it's like you go to the Chinese store. We grew up in the hood. So a lot of people, you was going to the Chinese store.
I missed that in LA.
No, forget it. Okay? Because have you ever seen a Chinese store support the hood?
No, they don't.
Never.
You're right.
I grew up playing Stormy Classic.
They don't even give the bad kids that hang out in the Chinese store, they should give them a job. They don't.
They never.
You know what? You're right.
They have never given back
It's
to the
only their
community.
people. But, I mean, if people really paid attention to the way they move, they support their people.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I didn't say they weren't smart. I didn't say they don't give it to us. But that's our problem in the black culture. We diving into some real stuff. It's like Jay-Z said it. You talk about the Jewish community.
Yeah.
It's one thing that they
Oh.
do. It's like, say, an example of me and you.
We talked about this the other day, like Jewish people and how they work with each other and they build up the money amongst themselves.
And if one falls, everybody helps that one person
Pick
get
them
up.
up.
You know what I mean? It's like, I think they was talking about it. You seen it on Facebook about the two black restaurants that went out of business for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? And people was like, we need to support them. I'm like, well, how many people do support them?
Yeah.
You go into Chinese stores, you go into McDonald's, you go into all these stuff, and then as soon as this business does succeed, they be like, oh, just another black business, but you didn't support this black business. It's like everybody saying free meat and all that stuff. So are you out there rallying? Are you out there supporting? You know what I mean?
Did you buy the album?
Did you buy the album?
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing too, because I think it comes
Free meat.
before. But a lot of us though, we're from Delaware, so like we've been supporting meat. But like a lot of people, it's just like, I don't know, people hop on bandwagons, but I just feel like if you're going to hop on a bandwagon, people really need to understand the importance. And one thing too, a lot of people don't do business with black businesses because of the unprofessional like stuff that happens sometimes, which is, it's a fall off because it's like, I've been in situations where I've dealt with people, black owned businesses, that I was like, yo, this experience makes me not want to come back here again. But I think too, it's like you said, other communities, when their people fall, they pick them back up. So like one thing that I'm going to offer to the vendors after the whole like experience that we're doing on Friday is just like, look, let me sit down with you and let's talk about your goals and what you want to do or whatever, and bring me on a team. Like, let me help you further develop this business, because if you got people willing to buy your stuff here, you got something, but you need people to come in. So I think that that's also too a big thing too, is like, we got a lot of people that look like us that are very smart, very intelligent, that working for like the JP Morgan Chases, the Bank of Americas. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you're learning and you're growing, but you got people in your own community who don't understand finance, but got money. So it's like, if you could give that back to the community, how much more could you progress and then open up a lane for your own self? Like,
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
People don't really get that. They don't really understand it. It's like them versus us thing, even within our own community.
Oh,
so.
that's what it's always been. I mean, that goes back to the whole slave mentality, pinning us up against each other. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
I got you for 2 more minutes before you got to go. Really quick before you got to go, we like to do like a call and response answer. I thought of something. You just tell me the first thing that pops to mind.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. L Boogie. I just gave you a nickname. Don't worry about it.
People always give me that nickname.
L Boogie?
And then everybody always thinks they're the first person to do it.
I gotta give you a different nickname then.
Yeah, people always go
They
do
call you
another
double
one.
L?
Yep.
You got that?
Mm-hmm. I get L Boogie, double L, and then Low, and Lolo is just my family.
I gotta
name.
come up with something creative then. By the end of this podcast.
It's fine. You can say L Boogie and say that you gave it to me, because people do it all the
No, I gotta be original.
time. Okay.
I come up with something though.
Well, just let me know.
L Money?
Yeah.
L.A.
L.A. Yes. Okay. Look at you.
You smart. All right, first thing. Tell me, what is your greatest mistake?
Do I have to answer that in one word?
No.
Oh. My greatest
What's your
mistake.
first thing that pops into mind though?
Not saving money. That-
Go ahead.
Oh, that's the first thing I thought of. Like my greatest mistake was not saving money. Like throughout these times when I've had extra money to do it, and I just was like, oh, whatever. And when I first graduated from college, my family does like they rent apartments and stuff. My mom told me that year that I was working here, she was like, you have a really good job, you're making a lot of money, and your credit is good right now. Buy a property. And I was just like, no, I don't want to buy a property because I don't want to live here, and if I leave, you're not going to manage mine because you're working on yours, like, and I don't feel like that. Now that I'm out there, I wish I would have listened because I would have had that foundation. I really do not like working for other people. Like I hate applying my energy and my thoughts and my time to someone else's something. So I wish I would have, that's probably one of the things I always think about too. Like I wish I would have listened to her because by now it would have been basically almost paid down because homes here are like really, really cheap in the city. And I probably would have had some like, now some payroll coming in of my own.
All right. So tell me, what's your greatest decision?
My greatest decision was to go to college, to go to Delaware State University.
Amen. Last question. L.A.
Yes.
What does taking over the world mean to you?
Taking over the world means a lot to me. Actually, my senior year of college when I didn't have any job offers, so I thought, because I actually did, I just wasn't checking the right email. That's a whole nother story. When I didn't have any job offers, senior year of college, when you're sitting in class, every teacher, at the beginning of every semester, when you intro yourself, they're like, and what are your plans after college? Everybody would stand up like, well, I have, a verbal offer from here, and I received an offer from here. And then they get to me, and I just be like, I'm going to take over the world. Like, seriously, that was my friend, like, the teachers would be so pissed, and my friends would be like, no, she's really serious. Like, I'm going to take over the world. And they'd be like, oh, okay, so how you going to do that? I'm going to move to L.A.
Before we get out of here, look, I got a T-shirt for you.
Oh, thank you.
You said you wanted to take over the world. It's pink. I think this could fit you, right?
Yeah, I'm little.
If not, we'll get you a bigger size.
Yes, I'm
it's
little.
Nice little pink. This is Taking Over Your World. It's your T-shirt presented to you from us here at Taking Over the World Studios. And make sure you wear it on TMZ. No,
I'm going to.
You don't have to.
No, I'm going to.
If you do,
I'm going to.
Okay.
I'm going to tag you.
Shameless plug.
And I'm going to tag you. I got you.
That'll look good with a blazer.
Black blazer.
A black blazer on that joint. We got white shirts too, but the pink really fits.
Okay.
You got it?
Yes, I got you.
Taking Over the World podcast. This is the third sign-off that we did. We out of here. Cheer.
Thanks. Oh, that was dope.